What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Triple Play Fantasy YouTube channel. And here we're continuing one of my favorite series that we do on the channel, and that is breaking down potential sleeper pitchers and hitters, also potential breakouts. And the next guy I want to talk about is Cristian Javier. And is he the next Robbie Ray? So before you completely take that idea and throw it out the window, just hear me out first, because there's a lot of comparisons between what these two did as far as the next step I think they could make. Robbie Ray did it last year. Cristian Javier could be the guy to do that this year. So I'm going to make sure you guys can watch some of his nasty stuff while I break down exactly why I think he's going to make that next leap this coming season. So Cristian Javier is somebody that I think is going to make that leap for a few reasons. We know the potential Cristian Javier possesses just by his raw stuff and his numbers. According to Fangraphs, Cristian Javier's 28.8% strikeout rate of pitchers who have thrown 150 or more innings over the last two seasons rank 16th in baseball. And including findings done by Michael Simeone, SP Streamer on Twitter, he had a 32.4% K rate as a reliever and a 26.7% K rate as a starter. That looked to translate well into the 2021 season as Javier finished with a 3.55 ERA, 118 whip, and a 30.7% strikeout rate with a 12.5% walk rate in 101 and a third innings pitch. He also recorded 130 strikeouts and even threw in 2 saves to boot. And now, while all those numbers were pretty decent, his 28.2 ground ball rate and 33.8% fly ball rate were not. Neither was his 2.6 weak contact percentage nor his 116.1 max exit velocity. Let's go a little bit more into the arsenal, which you guys are seeing on screen here. Javier throws mainly a four-seam fastball and slider while mixing in a curve and changeup each about sub 8% of the time. The fastball and slider are both pitches that make Javier stand out, as his fastball has a 12% swinging strike rate, while his slider has a nearly 20% swinging strike rate, just about 19.6%. But the slider is what we need to talk about, as it had a minus 10 run value, a .098 XBA, and a 49% whiff rate. Not just that, but Corbin Young, who at Corbin_Young21 on Twitter notes, it also had a .155 WOBA and 9 hits on 483 sliders thrown. If you dig even deeper than that, Javier was one of 9 starting pitchers that faced more than 100 batters last season and had a minus 10 run value on their slider while keeping that pitch usage sub 30%. So then we lead into why I think he's going to potentially be a breakout in 2022. For those that don't remember, Cristian Javier started the first 9 games of 2021 in the Astros rotation, but when Luis Garcia emerged, they had Framber Valdez also return from injury. They also basically had Jose Urquidy come in there, and they didn't need Javier there, so they moved him out of the rotation and into the bullpen. And it's not like Javier was struggling at the time either. He had a 3-0 record with a .087 ERA in April, and then an overall 52 and 2 innings of 2.68 ERA ball before transitioning to the bullpen. Once Javier was in the bullpen, though, he began to struggle with his fastball command. He walked too many batters, and he became ineffective against left-handed hitters. A key change he made in the latter half of the season when transitioning back to a little bit more up-tempo with his delivery. And according to pitching coach Brent Strom, the Astros pitching coach, he was allowing momentum to speed up his delivery and rather than being too careful in throwing strikes. And that led to a 4% increase in that first pitch strike percentage as he made that transition. It allowed him to limit his walks and get more ahead of hitters. And I believe that Javier has worked on some of those weaknesses that could be a true strength coming into 2022. So as it stands today, Javier is not expected to be in the Astros rotation, but he's expected to be the first man up if there's struggles or potential injury. You've got the 38-year-old Justin Verlander coming off Tommy John. You have Lance McCullers and Jose Urquidy, who both have injury question marks of their own. I think there's a definite possibility the latter could occur where Javier comes into the rotation and he ends up solidifying his spot in there. As long as he continues to prove his fastball command with his newfound sped-up delivery, continues to make use of that fantastic slider, Javier is going to be a great draft day bargain at his value. On some sites, you're getting him around pick 350. So it's a great value. And again, with the fact that he's basically walking a lot of guys, his over 11% walk rate, 12% walk rate was the second worst in baseball among qualifiers last season. I do think that's something that we saw with Robbie Ray, and we saw that just a newfound approach could make it so he could limit his walks and just trust his nasty stuff. And that's what I think that Cristian Javier is going to be able to do. He's going to have his nasty stuff work for him, and he's going to be able to limit his walks, and you guys can see it on screen. This stuff is just pure filth. So Cristian Javier is somebody you need to make sure you draft in the latter half of your drafts in 2022. Let me know if there's a certain player you want me to cover and a potential value as a sleeper or breakout candidate. There'll be plenty more of these coming all off season. But until the next one, we'll catch you guys next time.